let's talk about this branching strategy. So first thing first, guys, why branching strategy is required? Or basically, what is the problem statement? Why it is required? Why can't I just keep creating the branches the way which I want, and I can just follow that? Yes or no? I can keep creating any branches which I need, and I can just keep working. What's wrong in that? Why there is some strategy required? Basically, what you are referring to is isolating or bifurcating the piece of code. That's why one of the intention, that's why we can choose to create a branching strategy, right? But then can't we just tell people that, okay, you create your own branches. It's okay. Do not mess up with any other branches. If you want to work, create your own branches and that's all. What's wrong in that? That way, everyone will be having their own branches and no one will be interfering with each other's work. Correct? What's wrong in that approach? Conflict. Why? Why a conflict will occur? Working on outdated code. Okay. Then in that case, before you create a branch, you just do a git pull and you will be always will be having an up-to-date code. Correct? What's wrong in that? Why can't we allow people to create their own branches the way they want? It's okay. So what's wrong in this approach? That way, even we don't even need to bang our head to go and to decide on the branching strategy, right? It would be clearly straightforward. What's wrong in that? So if there is nothing wrong, then do we need a branching strategy? Yes. Okay. What could be the reason then? Why I'm asking this very simple question. If we want something new to be in place, there must be some problem. What is the problem? That way, everyone will be able to develop features by their own way in separate branches. Everyone would be able to fix their codes and do everything the way they want, right? Should be very straightforward and very simple. So we don't even need a branching strategy then, right? So that's what a branching strategy, which we don't need. Understand? If we allow other every people to create their own branches the way they want to create, how many branches there would be? Can you imagine or can you guess? Let's say right now here you are 18 people. Assume all of you 18 people are working on some project, same project, and every one of you is allowed to create any branches you want. How many branches probably you will create? 18 or more, or probably even more than that. You never know. But for simplicity, let's say you may land up creating 18 branches. Cool. Who knows what is there in which branch? I mean, which feature is there in which branch? How you will keep a track of it? Probably yes, probably no, right? You may would like to follow a convention. For example, uh, whatever is the feature you are creating that branch for, you probably may would like to give the same feature name to the branch, just to keep a track of what that branch contains, right? Okay, but then, okay, you created all those branches. Now you want to go and you want to release them or deploy them somewhere in some certain environment. Yes or no? In real life, you also have something called as an environments, correct? Staging, production, pre-production, UAT, development, and whatnot. Correct. Now, how you will deploy that? And you follow some certain SDLC, correct? You follow some certain process in according to release something. Yes or no? Do you directly deploy something on production? Always? No. We probably develop that first on development environment. Then we generally test it, right? On some lower environments. And then we go and deploy that probably on production or probably on pre-production for the UAT, right? There is some certain process. How are you going to follow that? Can you visualize now problems? So these are the problems. Now, tomorrow, if you want to go and if you want to roll back something, will it be very easy for you to roll it back? If you don't have a track of like why this branch has been created, what is its significance, can you even do something? No. And it would be an operational mess. And that's exactly why we need some certain strategic approach towards the development itself, right? Now, when I'm saying development, I'm not referring to only applications piece of code. I'm referring to whatever you're gonna commit in your repository, right? It might be DevOps people or development people or whoever it is, right? That's why to avoid all these problems or to minimize all these problems, I'm not saying that if you follow that strategic approach, then there will be no problem. No, but obviously there will not be obvious problems, right? So to minimize all this operational overhead, we need some sort of strategic approach, and that strategic approach is nothing but a branching strategy. Okay. Now, in today's session, what I'm gonna tell you or what I'm gonna share with you is couple of approaches. Okay, couple of approaches which people follow. Okay, and they follow it because it's suitable for them, right? So it it's not mandatory for everyone or for any organization that you must follow the exact same branching strategy. No, it would be totally depending upon you, and you can even design your own branching strategy. Okay, that's what you will be doing in today's practice session. You're going to design your own branching strategy depending upon your organization's work. I mean, every one of you is working in some certain organizations, correct? And you know how operations are happening in your organizations, right? And whatever problems your organizations or you are facing in your day-to-day life, so how you can handle them in an efficient way by creating your own branching strategy. So please understand the things and the purpose that why any specific branching strategy is like that way. Okay, good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with very basic scenario. Okay, let's assume, let's say, uh, in general way, what do you have? Even in any simple project, I'm not referring to any huge project. I'm just referring to any even simple project. What is your process of SDLC? You do have environments. So one of the environment based branching strategy, how that is, so basically you have branches. Let's say we have master branch. Okay. So this master branch, and just like that, you can keep creating different branches. Which one? Let's say you have your another branch, let's say staging branch, right? And what kind of piece of code you will keep here on staging? What piece of code you will keep on the staging branch? Let's say for simplicity, you will keep whatever piece of code you want to deploy on staging environment, right? Something like that. Another branch, probably for simplicity, you can have a development branch. Okay, development branch, which is what? Which is basically your development environment. It will contain the piece of code which is getting or which is probably under development, or you can say this branch will contain the piece of code which is always changing. correct? Now, practically, if you understand development branch, it will be always ahead in terms of updates compared to staging and your master or production. Yes or no? Now, let's say, what would be the instance when you will be creating master branch? So see, understand, whenever you have to start some certain project or something, what is the first thing you do at the very beginning? What do you do? Let's say you want to develop a project or something. You create the skeleton of the project or the framework or at least some directory structure, something you create, and that is something you want all the teams to follow as a basic structure, as a basic skeleton towards that project. Yes or no? That's what your, at the first instance, that's what your master branch will contain. Okay. All right. So now look at it. What we did, we created a master branch and we just committed one basic skeleton feature, feature1.txt. Okay. Now assume I am creating another branch. Let's say Git branch staging. Okay. And I'm checking out. Cool. And whatever piece of code you want to push, you will push it. Let's say, for example, I'm going ahead and I'm just committing feature2.txt on staging. All right. Okay. So this is feature 2. Cool. I'll say git add, git commit feature 2. Okay. And I will even push this branch. So git push origin staging. All right. This branch is also pushed. I also have staging branch now. Cool. Now, just like that, I will again create another branch from my staging, right? Which is probably my development branch. Okay. Here, I'm just committing feature3.txt. Okay. I'm saying this is feature 4. Sorry, feature 3. Okay. I'm again committing this. Adding feature 3. Okay. Committed. And I will again push this branch. Good. So we have pushed. So now, if you look at it, we have 3 branches. And that's how we have created it, right? Master, development, and staging. You understood it? And why we have followed the exact same sequence from master, we created staging. From staging, we created development. Why? Because now when you want to promote the thing from development to staging, if you don't create a branch from here, there are high chances it will create a conflict then. Correct? It may create a conflict, yes or no? If you don't create it from the respective branches, if you don't follow some certain sequence, it will definitely create a conflict. So to avoid that in very early stages, that's why we have created these branches in the exact same sequence. Correct? Cool. And now what will happen? Now your development team, those people will not be accessing or working on master, which is production, or even on staging branch. No. In real life, you probably may not be even having an access to master or staging. You may not be even having an access. How? How you can restrict that? So if you look at your repository settings, do you see these branches, right? So you can even have this branching protection rules here, that who can access, who cannot access. But by default, this this feature is not available in the free plan of GitHub. If you opt in, or if you go for a plain, right? I mean the paid version or paid plan of GitHub, you will get all these features. You see, restrict updates, right? Kind of thing, require linear history, right? Require deployment to success. So you can set up all these like rule sets. So no one can access, right? So you will be mandating your people, your development team to work on only development branch. That's how you can restrict it. Got it? Okay. And now what will happen? Your development team will keep working on the development branch only, right? And they will keep pushing their features here on the development branch itself. Okay. On the development branch itself. Now, assume you have developed, let's say, 3 feature, 4 feature, whatever it is, right? And now you want to promote them, right? Now, in our case, look at it. Your development branch, how many feature it contains now? 3 features. Your staging branch, how many feature it contains now? 2. Master branch, production branch, how many feature does it contains now? So it is evident that your development branch has more features and we want to promote them to staging. That's what we do, right? Correct? So let's say, how can you promote these features now? Locally, you can use git merge or something like that, or even git rebase to merge and everything, right? Correct? But here, do we have something for merging it? Do we even have an CLI access over here? No. So how can you merge it? So to help us, we have this feature, pull request, or PR. We call it popularly PR. Okay, pull request. So what pull request does? Very simple. Click on pull request and say new pull request. Cool. And now just specify which branch you want to merge into which one. Let's say I want to merge which branch? Development branch. And where I want to merge it? Into staging. Correct? All the changes from development will be merged to where? Staging. Correct? So all the feature means what? Whatever is not there on staging, all those feature will get promoted to staging now. Feature 3 in this case, correct? So look at it. I'm just creating a pull request. So whatever message of the pull request you want to give that. Okay. And simply say create pull request. All right. So as soon as you say create pull request, it will check whether it can merge it or not. Yes, it says yes, this branch has no conflict with the base branch, means staging branch, so it can be merged. Cool. Click on merge pull request, confirm merge, and it's merging. And that's all. Merging is done, right? So if you verify that now, if you go to staging now, we should see something new. You see, feature 3 is on staging now, which was not there, correct? Or piece of code got promoted. Now, assume the same way, now whatever features you have it on staging, feature 2 or feature 3, which is not there on master as of now, correct? Do we have it there? We don't have it, right? So we want to promote them. So how can we promote them? So again, we will create a pull request, and this time, while creating a pull request, what we will choose? Staging, and merge it to where? Master. Now, the thing is what? This is basically, um, you can say environment based, like branching strategy. But this branching strategy has one problem. Can you guess what is the problem? Assume this. You have login feature. We will create different features, right? So let's assume you have login feature. Just like that, you have what? Reels feature, right? You have Reels feature, and you have what? Post feature, okay? Something like that, okay? Now, assume, as a part of this branching strategy, whenever you will create a pull request, what will happen, guys? If you create a pull request, all these features will get deployed on staging branch, assuming you are creating pull request from development to staging. What's gonna happen? So deployed. Cool. Now what happened as a and what you will do generally? You will test it here, correct? All those features, whether they are working as expected or not. That's what we're gonna do. Assume this login feature got successfully tested. It is passed. It's working as expected. So passed means what? This is something you can promote. You got a sign off from your testing team. This is something is ready to be shipped or to be deployed on the production. Correct? That's what does it mean, right? Now, what happens? This reel and this post feature, when your development team, your testing team tested it, they got failed. They are not working as expected. There are some bugs which your development team now need to resolve. But practically speaking, this login feature, this is ready. This can be deployed. Yes or no? Now the question is, can you deploy this login feature to production or not? First thing, what you want to deploy, login or all the features? Now, in this case, what you will deploy? What you want to deploy?
Log,
Only login feature,
log,
right? My question is, can you deploy that? You cannot deploy that. Reason, what you will do in according to deploy? Create a pull request. Yes or no? From where to where you will create a pull request? From staging to master, correct? And if you create a pull request, what will happen? These features will also get deployed along with login. Yes or no? Do you want that to happen? Do you want to deploy like buggy features or features which are not working as expected? No. So what you will have to do then? You will have to wait till the time your development team fixes both of these issues, which might take a couple of iterations more now. And once they are ready, then and then only you will be able to deploy a complete set because you are creating a pull request. Do you understand the problem? So to handle this, there is another approach. That's where another, probably you can say, feature-based branching strategy you can use. Okay? Feature-based branching strategy. What does it mean? For every feature, there would be a separate branch, right? Meaning what? We will be developing all these into development branch. Is it? Will we be developing all these features on the development branch now? No. What we will do? We will create different branches for every damn feature. How? Just like this. Look at it. Right now, we are on development branch. Okay. So whatever is the base branch for me. So right now, assume as a developer, I don't even have an access to master and staging. I only have access to development branch. So what we will do, we will create another branch from development, login. Okay. And what we're gonna do? Oh, the first thing, obviously, the good practice is what? Always take a pull before you create a branch. And it's what? It was already updated, right? So we are good. So I have created this login branch And what I'm doing, I'm just switching to login branch. And now I will develop I will put my piece of code where? In this login branch itself. Okay. So let's say this is my login.txt and assume this is login feature. Okay. I will add it. I will commit it. Cool. You're good. Right? And what we will do now? Once the feature is complete, I will test it as a developer on my local machine. If it is working fine, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna push it to remote repository. Yes or no? Right? Look at it. So login feature is here now as a separate branch. Yes or no? Now you tell me, let's say we want to deploy this login feature to which environment? Okay. So wherever, I mean, what is your base environment? Your base environment is development because all the developers will be having access to where? To this branch only, correct? Right? So we
Yes.
should deploy this feature here. Reason what? Reason because other developers will be taking a pull from development branch. They must get the latest piece of code, right? So now how to deploy this feature on the development branch? A pull request, right? Now just like this, okay, we have created a pull request. Let's go and let's deploy this feature. So let's say I want to deploy that on development and the login feature, correct? Right? So
Yes.
creating a pull request, checking ability to merge, merge pull request, confirm merge, and our login feature got successfully deployed. If you see development, do you see this login feature deployed over here? Now, just like this, you may have different features, reel or post. What you gonna do in according to deploy? You can just deploy them just like this. Yes or no? By creating a
Yes.
peer, a pull request, correct? Right? Now assume uh, these features are ready to be deployed on staging. Okay, you will again create a pull request, correct? But this time, from where you will create a pull request, guys? Tell me one thing. From where to where, right? In this case, your base branch is dev. So exactly, you gonna create pull request from development to staging because you will also have to align with the environment, correct? That's why you will create a pull request from development to staging, correct? Got it? But let's say now you created a pull request, all this feature got deployed, and again similar scenario has happened. Okay, that login feature got successfully tested, and both of these features got failed. Now tell me one thing: can you deploy only login feature now to your production? So you're gonna create a pull request from login
Yeah.
to production master, right? Understood how that problem got
Okay.
resolved? Now, tell me one thing. Now, if you're using feature-based branching strategy, do you really think you need this environment? Can't you just deploy or create PRs from that respective feature branch directly to staging and to master? Do you really need it? Depends. With the environment branching strategy, why you created this? Because you had that environment. because you didn't had any kind of centric place where all the people can work, right? But now, if you're following branching, feature-based branching strategy, they are able to work on their respective feature branches, correct? Right? So probably there is no definite answer to this, that do you need this development environment or not? There is no definite answer. Depending upon your organization's process, you may have this or you may not have this. But if you have it, then you will have to treat that as a base environment. Understood? Then let's proceed. Okay. So now, assume when we have developed, there might be a scenario. Assume some bug appears. What bug we are referring to? Now look at this login.txt which we deployed on development environment or whichever environment. Do you see this is a bug here, right? Sometimes it even happens, no, that your testing team gives a sign off and later on they say, no, on production it's not working because probably we might have missed that scenario to test or whatever happened, but that is not working on production or whichever environment. It happens, yes or no? So it may happen. So now how to fix this issue? Because we have already deployed this. How to fix this issue? Fix it to a login and probably do the same thing. Create a PR first for development and again create a PR for staging. Correct? But understand one scenario. Probably other people might have taken a pull from development environment by then. Assume when you deploy the login feature, it's been a time now, right? And other people, other development members might have taken a pull. So are you sure that whatever changes now you're gonna do in the login branch itself, it will not create any kind of issue or it will not create any conflict for anyone else? Are you sure? What can we do? To isolate my piece of code, what we can do, we can go ahead and we can use another strategy. Exactly. To create another bug fix branch. And what we call it? That approach we call it hotfix. What we call it? Hotfix. Now what we will do, instead of fixing the issue here only, right? I will create another branch, let's say login bug fix. Okay. And I will fix my issue in this branch. Okay. In this branch. Why? First reason, because if you directly fix it and again deploy that, it might create a conflict, right? Second important reason is, do you want to deploy a feature all over again or you want to deploy only bug? I mean, whatever fix you have created for the bug, what exactly you want to deploy? Bug fix only, correct? So if we create this branch separately as an hotfix, what it will be allowing us now, wherever you have deployed your login feature, you can just deploy that bug fix using a PR again. So that only bug fix is getting deployed and nothing else. And we call it what? Hotfix. Okay. How? Very simple. Now look at it. So right now we are on login branch. So I will create login bug fix branch. Okay. In real life, generally people tend to give some Jira ID or something to this branch so that they know which bug fix or against which issue they are deploying this piece of code. Okay. And now look at it. What I'm going to do, I'll just fix the issue, the spelling mistake, login feature. Cool. And I will simply commit my bug fix, fixing issues in login feature. And we will push this, right? Cool. Now look at it. Let's say if I now create a pull request, I want to deploy this bug fix now. New pull request, this bug fix, and I want to deploy that to first development environment, right? And if I create a pull request, merge and confirm. So do you see now on our development branch, look at it, our login feature, has it been fixed? Yes. And now what does it mean? My development branch on remote repository is up to date, but my development branch here on my local repository, it is staled now. Does it contains latest piece of code? No, correct? So if I do git pull to get the latest piece of code, assume I'm some another developer. Do you see? Are there any conflict occurred? Is there any conflict? Oh, sorry, we merged it to login, is it? Where did we merge this branch? Cool, right? So you understand, guys? So that way we would be safe. Now, you may there might be a logical discussion point. I mean, if we are using this all these uh, feature based branching strategy, then over the period we may end up having hundreds of features and resulting into hundreds of branches lying around on our production environment, correct? Right? So what do we do with these branches then? Do we keep all these 100 branches? Answer is no. We do not keep all these 100 branches. So what do we do with these branches? So what we do with these branches is as soon as our PR gets fixed, I mean as soon as we deploy that feature, we delete those branches. Okay, these are momentary branches. We create feature branches temporarily. Those are not meant to be there for a longer time. Now, till what time those would be there? So it would be totally depending upon the organization's strategy. Probably you may have a policy that whatever features we have deployed in the last release, we will keep them till next release. And after next release, the older feature branches we will delete or discard them. That way, the number of branches that we have, we keep them in control. Now, uh, let's move. So probably this kind of approach, we may be helpful for us for our regular projects or in service industry. But for example, in product industry, uh, what do we do? I mean, Kubernetes. It's one of the tools. Terraform. Helm chart. These are open source tools, correct? And every now and then they come up with some certain version. Yes or no? Every 3 months, Kubernetes, at least Kubernetes, every 3 months there will be a new version, correct? How do we make sure if we have such kind of product, then how can we deliver a product using branching strategy? So for these kind of scenarios, we use something else. I mean, we use some different branching strategy and we call them release branching strategy. Okay, release branching strategy. So what do we mean by release branching strategy? So what we do, we create a release branch. Okay, it might be you know release version 1 or version 2, whatever it is. Now what you're gonna do, whatever features you will be deploying, right, or you want to be part of this release, so you create a PR against these particular release. Okay, you create a PR against these particular release branch. And now if that is ready, you will release this version of the product. What you gonna do? Let's say there is another feature, let's say video logs. Okay, that feature you want to release that as a version 2. Okay, so what you will be doing, guys, later on, let's say this is release version 2. What do you think what you will do? First of all, what you will do, you will create this release version 2 branch from release version 1. Why? Because definitely if you are releasing a next version, then you must have backward compatibility. Yes or no? All the features which were there in version 1 should be there in version 2. Yes or no? So you will create release version 2 branch from release version 1, right? So that all the features are there, and whatever other features, specifically, let's say, video logs or something, you're gonna create a PR probably for release version 2. Correct? So people who are taking, uh, you know, or your people who are using this release version, they will be having 4 features to be available to be used, and people using this version of your product will be having only 3 features to use.